A beautiful Thursday morning to everybody watching and listening to us here from Ifako radio from here to the world. We say good morning. I am yours truly on newspaper review this morning. Olani Reti Olusegun, and my colleague is also here.
I am Alani David. You're welcome.
Yes, we welcome you once again. Today we'll be looking at issues in the national dailies, and I'll be starting with the Punch newspaper. And from the Punch newspaper here, it says neck crisis. Makinde block revolts as INEC verdict tears PDP apart. Makinde block revolts as INEC verdict tears PDP apart. And if I may quickly look at the text of the story, it says the crisis within the People's Democratic Party intensified on Wednesday, that was yesterday, as Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike clashed over the scheduled date for the party's 100th National Executive Committee meeting and the reinstatement of Senator Samuel Anyanwu as National Secretary. Makinde's camp, which includes some governors, let me skip that, they are opining that June 30 should remain for the next meeting, and also maintaining the stand that Anyanwu should not return as National Secretary. So it is a case of Makinde versus Wike's block, because Wike on his own part with some governors and members of the PDP NEC are maintaining that Anyanwu should return as the National Secretary. At the same time, they want a reschedule for June 30 NEC meeting, which should be the 100th meeting. But Makinde says no, and that is politics at its peak.
Yes, we know that just we know that where we are at the moment is the time of politicking here
Sure.
and there. And Governor Makinde is a sitting governor, while Wike block is also
Wike is also
the FCT minister,
that is it.
and he's also a power block.
So it's all about power play.
And it's a power play, and it's the Game of Thrones. So, and we know that Senator Anyanwu is a loyalist to Wike.
Sure.
And of course, Makinde, who is the sitting governor from the south, also want to take over. So we'll see how they play out.
But do you think, you just said Senator Anyanwu is a loyalist of Wike, or should politics be a game of loyalty or objectivity?
You can take loyalty out of it. So that is politics. And you know, in politics, we are politics and we are politics. And of course, our loyalty go far in politics. And of course, I think Senator Anyanwu has been there over time.
He's an experienced man, no doubt about that.
I believe that they will be able to solve their issues.
Yes, we want to hope they put these crises behind them and strategize ahead of.
The only thing that Nigeria will just appeal to both parties is that they should stop into the politics. So they should concentrate on what the Nigerians have given to them to do, what Nigeria voted them to do. And we know that without the party, they can never be.
They don't have umbrella.
So let's see how it plays out. In a couple of weeks, we'll be able to know where we are on this National Secretary. Right. And that will also take me to the Vanguard newspaper today. And in Vanguard, there's a caption that I love so much. So we've strengthened ICRC engine room for Nigerian infrastructure revolution, says Tinubu. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared his administration has significantly strengthened the infrastructure concession regulation commission, transforming it into central powerhouse for delivery of public-private partnership. That is the PPP. But where I would like to pick where the president was speaking, that got me attracted to what he said is that the president emphasized that this move is not just a bureaucratic upgrade, but a structural reset designed to align policy with execution and accelerate infrastructural development nationwide. He now said that we are building with precision, we are building with purpose, and through the ICL, we are building with partners who share our resolve to make Nigeria rise. So if you look at what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying, which is our president, we can say that it's trying to strengthen the ICRC for the benefit of the masses and for the good people of Nigeria. I think it's a good direction.
Yes, at large, talking about economic development, I think President Tinubu is doing so well. We are only hopeful that all these efforts will materialize to manifestations, because it is one thing to have a good intent, it is another thing to have capable ones that will make all these things manifest. Nigerians are waiting,
Yes.
and we remain hopeful.
And we say the DG is someone that is a very resourceful person that we know, and the DG is Dr. Johnson Osejo Ewalefo. And I quote, he said that the renewed hope agenda of that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu catalyzed a bold recapitulation of public policy, placing infrastructure at the heart of inclusive national goal. So I think this will strengthen the PPP initiative, and of course, it's going to, because we can see that what is happening all over the world. If you see that, the United Arab Emirates, you can see that it is PPP that is driving the economy up of that particular city, and I'm sure that is what we're trying to incorporate in Nigeria.
And if it can happen there, it can also happen.
Yeah,
it's only left to us to emulate what is good, bring it on board there, and make it happen.
Yes, so I think it's a good direction from the government. So,
yes, I'll also be moving on with the Punch newspaper, and the headline here says Tinubu to sign tax reform bills Thursday, and that is today. The text says President Bola Tinubu will on Thursday today sign into law 4 tax reforms bills that will transform Nigeria's fiscal and revenue framework. The presidency has revealed. The special advisor to the president, Bayo Onanuga, special advisor on information and strategy, disclosed this. That was yesterday. He said Tinubu signs 4 tax bills into law tomorrow. The bills include the Nigeria Tax Bill, the Nigeria Tax Administration Bill, the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill, and Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. They were all passed by the National Assembly after a few months of consultations with various interest groups and stakeholders. So it is now left to the president to append his signature and make it a valid bill for Nigeria.
I think congratulations to Nigerians, especially the small business,
the SMEs,
and of course the individual. So this, I think, it was being signed into law finally today, which we are hoping that Mr. President will append the signature on it. So there's so many benefits for Nigeria, such as give complete exemption of low income earner up to 1 million per annum, to just pay just 83K per month, and of course tax incentive for employers to hire more people, and then in the previous for the next 3 years. Then for the SMEs, so the benefit that I can see here is that a simplified statement of account attested to by small business owner for tax return in place of audited financial statement. Then another one is that harmonization of taxes and repair of multiple levels. So what we're trying to say in essence is that the more you earn, the more you pay, and the more if you earn less, and you don't even earn to some particular percentage.
So there will be fairness in the tax payment.
So so the big manufacturing companies are expected to pay more, and then so why the SMEs will pay less.
And on the part of
an individual, so the individual, there's a certain amount that you need to earn before you pay tax. So I think it's less the ordinary citizen.
That would be a good plus. Even on the part of government, they are saying that it's a formal structure or arrangement to facilitate cooperation between revenue authorities and at all its levels of government, and it will further introduce essential oversight mechanism, including establishing a tax appeal tribunal and office of tax ombudsman. So I think it is a plus. But just like I said, everyone, it should be a game of a square peg in a square hole. Somebody managing it, and they should remain diligent to the last dot.
Yes, I think the government, it really shows that the government is listening to the earning of it.
Yes, Ashwaju seems to mean
yes. So, do you have another paper there?
Yes, I have a story here also from the Punch newspaper. It says Police nab wanted armed robber terrorizing Adamawa Gombe Road. Police nab wanted armed robber terrorizing Adamawa Gombe Road. And this is a good one because when people are traveling and they are not safe on the road, they tell their loved ones we are going to a particular destination, and one way or the other they are waylaid. So it is a game of waylaying the waylayers. And the text says the Adamawa State Police Command has arrested a 29-year-old suspected armed robber. And this is quite disturbing. These are youthful ones that should be gainfully engaged in a legit business. And they are attacking the people that are going with their own daily business. His name is Zephaniah Afri, who have been on the command's wanted list for violent crimes around the Numan Gombe Road axis of the state. But the beautiful thing is that this corporate has been apprehended. And from findings, there was this search warrant that was issued after his arrest. And they searched his house. They also got some ammunition from his apartment. One locally made pistol, 2 live AK-47 ammunitions, 1 live pistol ammunition, live cartridge, pair of military camouflage uniform, 4 military camouflage caps, and so on and so forth. I want to commend the police for doing good on this one.
I think that was a very good one because moving from one state to another, or from one stop to another, or one community to another, we need good security. There should be free flow of traffic, one, and two, there should be enabled security. Because if we look, because that is where the commerce takes place. So, and if there is no security for people, maybe in aggressive or in any other sector,
yes, there will be fear.
So there will be fear, and of course, it will definitely affect the economy.
Sure.
So I think we should kudos to the police, and of course, we pray that we just want to encourage them to do more.
Yes, they did that encourage.
Most especially, in fact, in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, they should do more. So the safety is very, very essential. So, and with that, I think I have this one that I also love. That's on here, the Nation newspaper. EFCC squeezes Abuja businesswoman over alleged appointment scam. That is all
Appointment scam.
So I'll just read a brief. Let me just read some column here. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission has interrogated an Abuja-based businesswoman, Alimat Adenike Tejoshu, over alleged involvement in appointment and contract scam. Tejoshu, said to be the founder of Alent Integrated Services Limited, was reportedly squeezed after a victim accused her of using false pretenses to obtain funds in exchange for promises of federal appointment and lucrative government contract. So are we now saying that
is she a mediator? What is she trying to do here? To facilitate appointment for people? Anyway, just
so many questions.
The story said it is an allegation. Yes. It is now left to EFCC to do due diligence on this one. And if she's found wanting,
she should brought to book.
Yes, definitely.
Because I don't know when government job has become a contract.
I'm afraid.
So
she shouldn't be taking advantage of job seekers or appointment seekers. No, it's a big no for me.
So we just want to encourage the FCC to do the needful. And if she's found wanting, then they should brought her to book. So yes, this should not be swept under the carpet.
Definitely. Nigerians will be waiting. I think they want to follow such a story. Because we've had recorded stories like that in the past. But this administration should do what is needed. Moving ahead with the Punch newspaper, another story from the police here. And that is why we'll continue to applaud them this morning. Police arrested suspected cultists, others recover arms in Enugu. The other story it was Gombe Road, Adamawa Gombe Road, and this one is Enugu. That is also telling, just like you said. One, we cannot really beat our chest to say a particular region is safe. No. But that is also acknowledging the fact that the police are on their toes in all regions. If it's happening in Adamawa, Gombe, it is also happening here in Enugu. And Another arrest has been made. The Enugu State Police Command has arrested 4 suspects, this time for armed robbery, unlawful possession of firearms, and cultism during separate operations across the state. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the command spokesman, Daniel Ndukwe, on Wednesday. Ndukwe said operatives of the Enugu State Police Command have arrested 4 male suspects for conspiracy, armed robbery, unlawful possession of firearms and ammunition, and cultism. I think all these guys need to be gotten off the grid. They must be disconnected from these activities. To
Not only the grid, we also even on what do we call it, the forest, because these people that we talk about, this either bandit, they call it either bandit or kidnappers or whatever they given to each group. I think the government.
I think there should be a stricter penalty on this.
And of course, they should judge the penalty. Should judge the law.
Because I still don't understand why some people will be going about their own daily businesses and others will hang somewhere to lay them, deny them their freedom, deny them their lives, deny them
ransom. That's because people just want quick money. So I think that the federal government, if the need be, the federal government should bring in even the Nigerian army on the road on some particular spot. They already know the spot.
But with Nigerians,
I know that the security agency already know the spot. So they should go in there, capture them, bring them to book, and so that.
But the fear of the military, we say, is the beginning of wisdom. I hope Nigerians will not read hard, not that many tweets, because if you ask the general public, people will have a divergent.
Yeah, we're talking about life, we're talking about safety, and when it comes to things like that, because you don't forget that we've been on this for years, for over a decade. We've been on it, and it's increasing by the day. So I think the government should do more. We know that they've been able to copy it in some area, and now these people are moving to another area. Most especially, look at the northeast, look at the northwest, even the Abuja Kaduna Road is a deadly point of kidnappers.
Yes.
It's a den of kidnappers. Look at Kebbi, look at Bruno, and of course, if we look at the south, the grid, you know what is happening.
The way they are kidnapping in the south.
And even recently, don't forget that about 8 weeks ago, on the dailies too, we saw that even though the state government have to clamp down on the underbridge to the interchange, that they saw den of kidnapper around that area.
They hoping that God will intervene in this situation. So I still have I also have the Nation newspaper here, and there's an alarming story saying NDLEA seizes 4 tons of drugs, arrest 583 suspects in Adamawa. Huge. Seizes 4 tons of drugs, arrest 583 suspects in Adamawa. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has confiscated 4 tons of various illicit drugs between June 2024 and June 2025 in Adamawa. So this is a report from the NDLEA. Mr. Aliyu Abubakar, the state NDLEA commander, stated this at a news conference as part of activities to mark the 2025 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking in Yola on Wednesday. You know one thing about these drugs is that if you look around, almost everywhere now, almost in all states, you see youthful youths that should be engaged in something that is legit, taking illicit drug. And this is doing more harm, seriously. And a lot of younger ones are fast emulating them. The government should.
I think we don't know what. I think that some time ago we have the National Orientation Agency, and we don't know what they're really doing, because if we did not get it, right now, then we are doomed as a nation and as a leader. Because the young one, the way they take into drugs all over the socio-political zone, either educated or non-educated.
That is why it should not be the business of the NOA alone. We have the CDAs, the CDCs, the religious leaders.
Yes.
They should be preaching this at all levels, in all schools. they should keep serious watch on the pupils and the students, because there have been viral videos going around now showcasing some students in uniform taking illicit drugs. Recently, the one was said not to be in Nigeria, but nevertheless, it is happening in the globe.
Yes.
And we just have to be very, very watchful.
Goes back to family values. We come back home because every community starts from a home, from a family.
Definitely.
And I think that it's high time that parents should also look into their board and see what their children are doing. And from there, also the religious leaders, just like you said, the CDAs, the religious leaders, should also emphasize on this. And of course, I know then that the National Orientation Agency goes to church, go to mosque, go to each community. So I think it's time that we should rebrand the National Orientation Agency, and they should work in conjunction with the CDAs and the CDC. And of course, and I believe that if we're able to do that, we'll be able to achieve much. So together, I think we can achieve more, because if we don't stop it now, it's a virus that
seriously is eating deep. It's into the system of our
youth,
yes,
and the future leaders. So I saw something that on this day's newspaper. This day's newspaper says that unlocking Nigeria potential starts with educating, empowering girls. So this is about the girl's child. So if you look at the content, said, I imagine a country where every girl has the opportunity to pursue a dream, contribute to talent, and lead with confidence. That is the Nigeria I believe in, and is a future that within our reach, and which we prioritize investing in girls today. But yes, I noticed that over time, all over the world, they'll be talking about the girl's child, the girl's child, the girl's child. So I always on the opinion that what happened to the boy's child?
Hey, it is because when you train a woman, when you give them attention, you are taking care of the nation. That is what is
yeah.
important.
Our focus, we know all the way, but according to this report now, is about the girl's child. Because
it is because they are also
more,
and they are more vulnerable.
And they are
that is why attention
that's the key
point.
That's the key word. They are more vulnerable, and they are the mother of the nation. They are the home builder. So I think we should all give them a chance. We should look over our girls' child, and also don't forget the boss child, so that the boss child will not just be the one riding Okada, so dropping out of schools. So, and if you go to all that institutions today in all schools, you see more girls in school than the boys. But the girls' child are more vulnerable, so we need to protect them.
And boys should also show some level of seriousness too. They should occupy that position that genuinely we are here as the head, and attention will also be shifted to them. And permit me to take this sports story from the Punch newspaper, and this is coming from Amunike. Amunike says that give rest of 94 Eagles their houses. Give rest of 94 Eagles their houses. If you recall, Amunike gave us a victory that year. That was Tunisia 94. And he gave us 2 goals at the final. The text says that former Super Eagles winger Emmanuel Amunike has called on the federal government to expedite the distribution of houses to the remaining members of the 1994 African Cup of Nations winning squad, confirming that he received his allocation long ago. You mean the 1994 houses? I have received mine long ago, he told the press. They should hand over to the others now. Let them do it. And I think this is long overdue. That was about 3 decades.
Yeah, that's very, very long overdue. And those people, these young guys at that time, it was proud.
Yes, and some of them won't be around now. If we look at Rashidi,
I believe some of them are late. Look at Rashidi Yakini. We have a lot of them that have gone. But those that
I hope
those that have
gone before he left.
I believe so. But for those that are yet to get, so I think we know our president and we know the current minister for sport, so they should be able to look into it and do it.
Yes, it remains the government responsibility.
So I think it's a good one. So the government should look into it. It's either late or alive. Sure. So
the promise is a debt, yes. So they'll be expecting. I think we should draw the curtain here today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be here with newspaper review, God's willing. I implore you to follow us on Facebook, Ifako Radio, on Instagram, Ifako_radio, on YouTube, Ifako Radio, on X, formerly Twitter, Ifako Radio, WhatsApp channel, Ifako Radio. And you can also reach out on the studio line 09122227433. I'll take that again, 09122227433. It is Ifako Radio, from here to the world. I remain yours truly, Olanireti Olusegun. See you tomorrow, God's willing.